going to be outreach to people that you know and making a compelling offer to get people to try to work with you.
This overarching point you said there about being yourself, as I was thinking about it, I was thinking, gosh, do you know what? The thing that all of my favorite creators and the really successful creators have in common is they all have, and I use these words intentionally, the courage to be themselves.
Yeah.
Because I'll tell you what, when I was starting out as a content creator, and I look back, I was showing one of my team members the other day the things I used to post. It was like everything happens for a reason.
Cringe.
It was cringe,
Yeah, so terrible.
cliche fluff. And it took me several years to almost relax into just realizing that the game here was to get to the point where I could be myself on the internet. And actually that was the most high value because of, of what you said. It's the uniquest part of me. But the courage to be yourself.
And it is the winning strategy for 2025. And it's, I think, it's leaning into it. And the thing is that everything in you wants to not do that. I'm not really sure why. But I was having a conversation with Layla, I want to say 2 nights ago or 3 nights ago. I got a bunch of flack for some X posts that I made. And she just looked at me and she was like, never dilute yourself. Because I was like, maybe I shouldn't talk about this stuff. Like maybe I should just like, I'll just lean off. And she was like, never dilute yourself. Like there are so many more people who need that message than people who are hating that message. And she was like, and if you're actually going to make a difference in a lot of people's lives, there's going to be an equal and opposing force of people who want to reject that. And she's like, this just comes with the territory of like how big of an impact you want to have. And it was just such a great, wife talking to husband, conversation. That I guess for me at the end of the day, I'm like, as long as she thinks I'm cool, like,
Yeah.
I'll keep doing it. But yeah, it was just because the diluted down version all of a sudden becomes everyone else's stuff.
Well, you said a second ago, you're not sure why that is, but by very definition of it being unique, that means that there is no blueprint.
Yeah.
There is no person that's come before you and proven that it works. So the courage of being yourself, there's only one Stephen Bartlett. So if I'm truly myself, it's never been done before. That means that the risks are unknown. The upside's also unknown.
Yeah.
But so again, going back to our hate of uncertainty, it makes much more sense for me to try and copy you because I can see a blueprint there than to run the risk of being yourself. And you are someone, I have to say, who is running the risk of being yourself. And actually, as someone who's observing you, now I know who you are and I now know who you're not.
Mm.
And it's important for me as someone that follows your work
Yeah.
that actually I see consistency because I've established Alex Hormozi's values.
Yeah.
And anything that diverts from that is actually less valuable because, as you say, it's more like everyone else and the things I've had before. But it's also, it wouldn't feel true anymore.
Yeah.
And this is something that even as a creator myself, I have to fall back on is my audience know who I am now. For better or for worse.
Yeah.
They're not going to learn anything new.
Yeah. What's really interesting is navigating the gray. And so there are contradictory ideals. And this is what I kind of come back to when I'm like worried about these types of things, which is like you've got mercy and you've got justice. They're somehow opposed and they are both ideals. So how can we believe in justice and also believe in mercy at the same time? And so, and I mean, there's a number, you can have variety and consistency. Like there's tons of examples of this, right? And so we have these diametrically opposed ideals, which means that if you ever say, by the way, I'm a little bit more of a justice guy. Like, I understand they had a hard time, but at some point you got to take your own personal accountability. So like, no, you're not going to get out of the speeding ticket. You're going to get like, that's what's just. On the other hand, it's like, hey, single mom gets pulled over for driving too fast. You know what? Maybe we let her off today. Both of those stories, fair, but you're going to get attacked by the other side that has an ideal that all humans try to strive for, and it will feel terrible because they are right. And so what?